What we're looking at here is basically a automated 401k versus a 401k that you have to choose to participate in. So there is an example of a large American company that has their original plan A, and then they have an after plan B. So their original 401k setup is you have to apply to go through the process to get your 401k. The after setup would be that company, as soon as new workers are hired, are automatically and instantly put into an automated 401k, which is going to take money out of their paychecks and put that into a 401k. So what this does is it allows the companies to play a direct role on the savings behavior of their workers. So for instance, you have your original workers that don't elect to have a 401k. They are going to miss out on all the benefits and opportunities of that, and it's not going to occur to them that they need this is something that's much better for them. And with the after plan A, or the plan B rather, than when they change it, these people will be automatically put into that system where they're having their money taken out and being invested into their 401k. So it changes savings behavior to have a much higher participation percentage, rather than you electing yourself to do that. You're just getting put into the system already. So again, basically what we're looking at is how a 401k of just employees doing it on their own versus a 401k where a portion of paychecks are taken out to be placed into that account. And we'll see the savings behavior between the two, and we'll be able to most likely get a pretty good economic model for businesses to not even have to incentivize saving, but rather just have it as a reoccurring event. Alright, this little rant is going to be about Elon Musk and how he contributed to the advancement of our current society. So the first major thing that Elon did that changed the way we live was him and his brother in their earlier years started a company that we should all know today, known as PayPal. And this was a pretty big deal because before this point, the world had no way of electronically transferring money. So essentially he set the standard for banks, Venmo, PayPal, everything we have today. And one of the most interesting things I get from this is Elon and his brother started this at a time that neither of them had any money. They were born in South Africa and they came to the United States, to Silicon Valley, to make some progress in all the things they wanted to do. So at the time they were creating this, they were actually living in a storage shed and borrowing rent money from friends and family, because they were putting every dollar they had into the company, trying to get it started and rolling. And eventually PayPal was bought by eBay, and that gave Elon about $3 million in profit off of that. And after that, he got out of the money business and started working towards the next goals he had. So also another company that for anyone now that you're gonna know, you've heard of Tesla. He started this company with wanting to accelerate the world's movement to sustainable energy. And by doing this, you're taking millions, if not billions, of internal combustion engine cars that are putting gases and polluting our air and environment, and you're switching to electric battery powered vehicles. And this has really set the precedent for every single legacy automaker, because before this point you had each automaker maybe had one electric car, and once Tesla hit the market, they not only solved the problem for some people of wanting to be better for the environment and do their part, but he also brought fun to this with performance and all the latest technology that they can get a hold of, and overall just made the experience of driving and owning a Tesla or any other electric vehicle, that it's going to be more fun than driving a gas powered car, and you're going to be able to do more things. So along with that, the progress made from the company really opened the doors for Elon and his teams, giving him the funds and the exposure to the markets, and starting from this allowed him to go on and on and on with all the things that he wanted to get done and he thought were going to be better for the world. So Elon has always had one main goal, and that would be he wants to get human civilization to Mars and wants us to be a multi-planetary species. So he started SpaceX, and really as soon as the funds hit SpaceX, it left NASA and all other government space agencies in the dust, being able to give a competitive privately owned business, and not have to deal with getting approval from senators and from politicians and the American public. He can just kind of do his own thing. So when SpaceX started, they weren't doing the most incredible things. They're still kind of getting on their feet, and Elon had some struggles with Tesla and SpaceX both. As one point in his life, he says that he had $20 million left, and he had his two companies that were, he explains, are pretty much like his kids. So he has Tesla on one hand and SpaceX on the other, and he says with the 20 million you can put all that money into one of the two companies and still are not guaranteed success. But because he built them up so much over time and cared about them and did so much for them, that he said it would just be too hard. He couldn't let them go, so he put 10 million, split the 20 million up, put 10 million into each, and as we see, we can see where he's at with that today, and how that decision probably helped him out and helped us out as society. So now we see the real achievements of SpaceX as we have rockets being launched, going to orbit, coming back down, and landing on a pad in the middle of the ocean, which is something that has not been done before and is really, really key to space travel, because you need a rapidly reusable rocket. This means you can't just ditch your rocket after every attempt like NASA and other government space agencies do. you have to be able to land, refuel, and be ready to take back off to be able to do commercial flights, and you save, you're paying about 1/10 of the money from not having to construct these new rockets every time one is launched. So one of the recent, it's still on the smaller end of the scale of what's going on, but in the coming years it'll be quite incredible. Neuralink is basically just a microchip that can get inserted into your head, have micro threads inserted into a certain part of your brain, and as they go on and study this, they can find that which receptors are firing when certain movements are made, or when certain your brain is thinking about certain things. So one of the main goals of this, that Elon says, is something that has never been thought of before, that this could potentially be something that can cure paralysis and just things that have no medical explanation as to fixing them at the moment. And as of just recently, there is a monkey that had a Neuralink chip placed in its head, and it mapped everything out. It figured out how the monkey's brain was working, and there was a monkey that was playing video games complete with no controller, completely controlled by his head, with the Neuralink hooked up to the Bluetooth of a smartphone or a laptop. And once this is approved and there's enough study on it to show that it's effective, this, I think, could be the greatest medical advancement of most certainly our lifetimes, and most likely for a while. And just kind of wrapping things up, I think the way Elon goes about his business is something that we should all take something from and learn about. Elon is never, as being the richest man in the world at some points, depending on stock price, he never acts as if he's above anyone. He likes to listen to everyone's ideas, and he thinks everyone's ideas are valuable and important. He doesn't require college education, any higher education. Just if you have good ideas and you will work hard, he will sit and listen to anything you have to say. And I think that would be something that could greatly improve the world now, if we had all of the leaders and CEOs of all these Fortune 500 companies being able to lend an open ear every once in a while, at least more than they do, and listen to other opinions and feedback that maybe doesn't necessarily align with their own thoughts. They're being very open to outside ideas, and I think that'll be a great place to look forward to in our life.